welcome back to EdinburghFudge YouTube channel that never posts anything or something. Yeah, so I made some New Year's resolutions this year, and the first of which is to be more creative. So I figured that I'd be best to carry on with where I left off before and try and make some videos, but at the same time I wanted to try something different. And I've always wanted to do some more work on PC, and this is finally giving me the opportunity to do so. I've managed to get some software to download and record, my PC games, and so I figured I'd bring you my current favourite and possibly, certainly amongst one of my all-time favourites games ever, which is Prison Architect. Sounds a bit boring as a title, maybe, I don't know, but you know, the game itself is fantastic. I'm going to give you a wee introduction to the game. So we're on the main menu here, very simple. You'll see previously I'd done some campaign work. There's a campaign. I believe there's more than just that, but I've only done a little bit of the campaign. Because of that, I've not unlocked all the cutscenes. And obviously you can create a new prison, you can load some of your prisons. Very simple standard layout. There are a few things that I'd like to do today. I'm just going to create a new prison and start from the beginning, but there are very different ways of going about this. So you can do your campaign, and that'll give you so if you go into the campaign, it'll give you kind of a section, death row. We've been contracted to build an execution chamber, so once you've completed that, then you obviously unlock the second level, massive fire, and so it gives you all these kind of things to look at and eventualities that you have to get by. And then you've obviously got you can create your own prisons, and I've just got silly, well, yeah, you can see that one's already broken. All the monies is something I just started over the last few days to give it a shot. But what I'm going to do today is we're just going to create a new prison from scratch, and I'm just going to make it as simple as I can. So we're going to go large. Generating forest is fine. Generating buildings is absolutely fine. Although it sometimes gets in the way. Failure conditions are fine. I'm going to leave gangs off for just now. Gangs I haven't had a lot of experience with gangs yet, so I don't want to end up having a gang war that can ruin my game, just for entertainment's sake. And then I'm going to leave off all the newer stuff. I'm not going to go with unlimited funds. Unlimited funds is good fun, but it also kind of makes you play a specific way. To give you an example, that prison that I started just earlier on today is now currently about $500,000 in debt, and although it's unlimited, it does show you how much you're spending. And I don't want to enable cheats. One of the other things you've got is you can obviously select your prison gender, which is lovely. You can choose your warden, so different wardens do different things. This is just a standard warden. You've got the lobbyist, so you get a likelihood of you don't get as much of the violent, lethal, volatile guys. He's obviously has friends in high places. So this one has prisoners being halves the likelihood of them being stoical or fearless. So again, suppressed twice as quickly. This guy clearly ex-military. Guard dogs have a chance of uncovering things. So although they have their bonuses, I'm just going to stick with a standard warden to begin with. I've also gone large just to give us as much space to play with as possible. So let's get into it. So you start off with just an empty field. Now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pause time, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to change my intake. So I don't want any intake just now. We're going to be closed for good. And then to begin with, we're only going to take maybe minimum security, medium security. We're only going to take a certain number of each. So you start with $30,000, and you get your cash flow. This £840 cash flow tells you what you get every day, and obviously depending on how many guards, how many staff members you have, that will obviously change. Now, what I like to do in my sandbox ones is I like to have a massive wall around the outside, which I can show you later on. Just a quick look at the unlimited funds one that I have going just now. However, in the normal version like this, you have to obviously earn your money. So the first thing you have to do is you have to get some grants on the go. So to do so, you want to obviously go, let's say, an administration centre. So that all I need to do to get my 10 grand for this one is build 2 offices, hire a warden, unlock finance, and hire an accountant. So we'll take that one. We can take 2 at once, and that can actually be moved up to 3, and I'll show you that in a second. So we'll do that one, and we'll also go for a basic detention centre, because those ones are fairly simple. Now, one of the things you'll see about this one is that there's a cancellation cost, a repayment, because I got 20 grand in advance, I think, for that one. There's a fine, if you don't complete that one. And on the left here, it just shows you all the sections that you have to complete to get your final money. So we've obviously got more bank balance here, as it says there. We've got 20 grand advance and a 5 grand advance on these 2 here. So we'll close that for just now. We don't have any stuff or anything we need to worry about. So workmen are coming in on a truck. What we want to do is we want to make some materials. We want to create a foundation, and I generally build my entrances in concrete. So what we'll do is we'll try and make it fairly centered on this to begin with, our entrance. And you can see you've got deliveries and garbage areas down here. So what we'll do is we'll just set it back slightly from the road, and we'll make a narrow corridor. Not too narrow, 5 wide, so that'll give us 2 walls and then 3 in the middle for each section of that. So we'll go for that just now. Now, one of the other things you can do is you can go down to planning here, choose walls, and this can give you what you want to do with these walls. So these walls are obviously going to be in place when I create them. And then what I want to do is I want to create, in this section, I want to create offices. So offices generally, if we get rid of this one, have to be 5 by 5, I think it is. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've not made that big enough, so that needs to come slightly further up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that will now allow me to have my minimum space for an office, and we can just make that the whole way along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, straight down. And obviously you can see exactly what we're going to do here. So we're just going to give ourselves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., etc. So that gives us as much as we can, just a set of rooms to work with. 3, 4, 5, and back down. Perfect. So that's actually quite a good estimate we've got there. Now I could get my guys to start working on these. However, what I want to just quickly do is set out what these need to be. So that is going to be in brick because it's offices, and this is going to be in concrete because it's centre section. What we're then going to do, so that will allow me to build of these, it'll allow me to build let's see, I'll have to have the 2 offices, hire a warden. And now what I need to do, now you'll see here bureaucracy is locked until I get myself a warden. So what I want to do is hire a warden. That's $1,000, which is obviously quite a fair bit, and my daily cash flows down until such time as I can get some guys in here, and then I'll get paid a certain amount per day per prisoner. However, what it does allow you is it brings up this bureaucracy menu. Now, what you want to unlock ideally is a security warden. Sorry, a head of security. So you want your warden to unlock that. However, one of the things, that would be my first thing. However, it does say unlock finance through bureaucracy for this first grant. So let's go down the what was it again? Unlock finance through bureaucracy and hire an accountant. So unlock finance. So that's the first thing we'll do, is we'll do this. However, he can't do anything yet because he needs an office. So what we'll do is we'll get these guys working slowly, and we'll get these guys coming in. And what they'll start doing is they'll start delivering some materials to their delivery section, and then they'll start building the base for this while we can work on the rest of it. Now, finance will happen once our warden has an office, and then we can also hire an accountant once he's finished that, and that'll give us our full administration centre grant. In the meantime, we need to, however, build holding cell, shower, yard, kitchen, canteen. Okay, so staff-wise, I always go to staff to begin with, so we can go 2 wardens and 2 cooks. So although I'm going to spend the money on them, the bonus is that I don't then end up with not having enough money to buy them. And those guys can just generally stick about. Now these guys are just going to bring down these trees. The other bonus of having these trees, once they're cut down, is you can actually store them, and then you can export them. So what we'll also do while we're here is we'll create a small export room. It's a room within this section, but it's an area that you look to do now. It might be in this section. Yeah, exports. So let's go and make a big area for exports, just in case. Because then what we can do is once these guys are finished cutting down these trees, they can automatically take them down to the bottom. Now you can see all these materials coming in, and these guys aren't, there's not very many of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to buy another, well, it exceeds my daily budget, so I don't have enough to buy any more than the 13 workmen, but I've got a whole bunch of staff, and I've got these guys starting to work on this. So what we need to do is we need to build a holding cell, which is going to be one of the first things. And you can hear the noises of them felling trees, which is quite fun. Let's see, so we need to build a holding cell. So let's plan out roughly what we're going to do for our holding cell. So we'll start the holding cell the same on the other side. We'll go out 6. Now a holding cell needs to be, and this is the beauty, is that each one of these will tell you what your minimum requirements are. So again, that needs to be 5 by 5, so the bonus of that is that's the same length as one of our offices, which I'll just check is 5 by 5. Office, minimum size 4 by 4, so they're slightly bigger, which is good. Enclosed, surrounded by walls and doors, which obviously it will be. Indoors, which it will be. Toilet and a bench, so I only need a toilet and a bench within the holding cell. So I can actually make that holding cell quite small, because generally we're not going to use the holding cell that much. You can actually have a reception area, but for this particular grant we need to have a holding cell. So we can make that one again 5 by 5, so that we can just go the same area, and obviously 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got a holding cell, holding cell. Then I need to build a shower. Now the shower rooms, do they need to be of a specific size? A shower room needs to have a shower head. There's no generic size for them. So again, we'll go for just the same again on the other side. Now what I want to do is, because these are areas that the prison inmates should be in at some point, I'm going to make both of these foundations in concrete. So let's just make that up as we go. Oh, that won't let me. Why will that not let me? Oh, because I'd already built that. So there we go. So that's just extending these buildings out. Now what you'll notice is that once these sections come up, these walls that I have drawn in will be drawn in, but the actual area won't be completed. This effectively, by doing this, all I'm extending is the foundation of this floor. So once they complete that, these walls will not be in, and I'll have to build these walls separately with materials from likes of here where there's a concrete wall. So what I'll actually do just now is I'll leave that until they've built that. So we've got a holding cell and a shower, so this will be a holding cell, then the shower, and then a yard. So a yard generally needs to be a wee bit bigger, so we'll go for let's see, is there a minimum size for a yard? So again 5 by 5, so we could actually just continue that theme, and we'll go for a 5 by 5 yard in here. Now again, they're not wonderful, but they do allow us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It does allow us to just literally tick this box enough to get our 10 grand. You can see our money still going down there. Isn't great. So, however, 650 from exports. So then again, you've seen there, this truck has now just picked up some of the trees that we've felled. We'll take them away, way at the bottom, and then that'll actually get us some money. So again, now we require an entrance. So these sections are primarily built, however, there is no entrance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to need to go into Objects. I'm going to go for a large jail door at the front. Actually, let's just go for a single jail door at the front. And we'll click on that one. Someone will build that, and then that should open up this whole area. However, we now need power as well. Power and water. So we have a power station. We've actually got one already, which is nice. We'll just stick that up here. So that'll be a power station. And then we've got a water pumping station. We'll just stick that here. Now, one of the things I've found to do with power stations is to surround them in capacitors. Now, what it allows you to do is it allows you to have more power running through them at any one time. However, the general problem that you have with that is that they're very expensive, £1,000 per capacitor. So I normally surround mine. However, again, because of the money we've got or not got, I'm going to leave that just now, and we'll put some electrical cable through here. Generally, this comes down like so. So we'll just stick a power cable straight through there, and one straight down the middle. We'll then also create some power to it. We'll stick some power in there just now, and then we'll stick some water coming from that, and the water shall go all the way through as well. Now you'll notice that because they're building this currently, and we've got a door in there now, we can now, once we go back, you'll see that this now, once they've built this, the cables will come through here, and all these lights will suddenly have power, which will light this up. However, what you can see now is we do have a surrounding of, in this case, concrete here, and then brick up the top here for the offices. So if we want to build these offices, we need some walls. So what we're going to do is, most of my internal walls are going to be concrete. So I will build these ones, and this one, and I will leave a gap in the middle for a door, and leave a gap in the middle for a door. And then we'll put some staff doors on them. Nothing too extreme. They don't need to be secure doors as such, on the basis that should only be staff inside them at any one time. So there we go, there's our lights are on. You'll see that these electrical pipes here, electrical cable here are still queued to be done. But what you can actually do is you can actually click on an individual workman. You can click on an individual area, and whenever you want to know who's going to complete it, usually it'll actually give you a particular workman as to who's going to complete each section. So you can actually track, the absolute minute detail. So again, on the opposite side, we're going to have some walls just along here. So let's make, in fact, let's make that one a bit more. So this one is going to be the holding, so that'll go straight in at either end. Now we'll put those doors just to the extreme, purely on the basis that I want to be able to just keep them a bit further apart, so that people, there's just however you build is however you build. Now you'll notice though that our warding still doesn't have an office. Now part of the problem for that is that our offices, if you'll see here, they require a size, but they also require desk, a chair, filing cabinet, and to be indoors. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this one an office, because I want that to be our warden's office. I want him to choose that one. So what we'll do is we'll do that, and then we'll go and build what he needs to have, which is a chair, an office desk. Now you'll notice that they're highlighted here, the things that I need, and that's going to be, now because it's my warden's office, what I'll also do is I'll also stick in a white sofa. It's not necessary, but again, kind of like some of the older games that you maybe used to play, you add extras in, and people are happier, or staff are generally happier. So let's see what's the direction of that one. I think is that way. Am I wrong? Bottom. Oh, hang on. Yeah, that way. There we go. So you can see if you really zoom in what's going on there. So that's fine. So I don't want a TV in there. I can just minus that and bring that down. And now that has become the warden's office, you'll see. So now that he's in there, and we've got finance through bureaucracy going to be researching, so you can see he's now researching in here. This timer now 5 hours and 56 minutes of game time, obviously, not of actual time, will tick down. And once he's completed that, we'll open up these options, and also we'll complete that, or partly complete that grant. Now what I like to do at this point is I like to make sure that the next thing to go is security, because security is very important to have. You can start putting deployments out with your officers and all the rest of it. It's really, really good to have. So this will probably be our security office, in which case we shall, in fact no, that'll be a finance because that'll be the next one on the list. And in the meantime, what we'll do is we'll just do the same again for this one, just exactly the same type of office, just so that we can have that in advance. You can see that the actual items I'm putting in here are relatively cheap, and we will make that an office. There it is, an office, and there we go. Now you'll notice that one of the other things you can do is whenever you highlight an item, and if you already have one, it'll just highlight the only ones that you have left there. So the office again is already there, so those are the only 2 offices I currently have. But what we're looking for is we're looking for a holding cell, which will be this one, and we're looking for a shower, which will be this one. Now in the shower, all I need to have is one shower head, but what I found is that they flood really easily unless you have a lot of drains in. Now because these are only 20 bucks a head, I fill the entire shower room with them, and I also fill the door space with them, and that allows the water to drain out rather than flood out into the centre. Now what I can do is, as well as that in here, I then need a shower head, and obviously we'll put them just a bundle along that wall, and we'll put a bundle along that wall, because again only 20 bucks. However, we're down to 25 grand here, so we're not, you know, we need to get some of this money ready. So we've got a holding cell, which just needs a toilet and a bench. So let's go and stick those in. One toilet in there, one bench along here, and that's all that needs to be complete. However, both the toilet and the shower will need utilities. So what you can just do is small pipe. We'll put a small pipe to here, and we'll put a small pipe along there and a small pipe along there, and that will feed both our shower heads, and that will feed our toilet, which I fear I may have put in the wrong place. No, we've got it in the right place. So once these guys get moving, you'll see this guy's carrying a shower head. He'll go and install that, but then obviously they'll have to install the pipes underneath to actually give that water, and you can see now that that's actually being brought up as not having water. However, the actual completion of a shower room is already done. Even though it doesn't have water, you'll see that shower has been ticked off on our list. So once we get this bench and once we get this toilet installed in here again, that'll tick off the holding cell. So next we need a yard, which again is going to be an issue here. So let's go for, let's see, you've got a yard, and then a kitchen and a canteen. So let's see, are the kitchens and the canteens? Kitchen, no minimum size. Canteen, no minimum size. So you just need enough room to get everything in. So let's go for quite a long kitchen and canteen, just to kind of give us as much as we can do. So this can be our kitchen canteen split. So what we'll do is, firstly we will make all 3 of these into concrete. So we'll make all of that in concrete, please. And we'll also then make concrete wall, which we can't because we don't have any foundations yet. So there's different ways to build in this game. If you find that you have already got, for example, people within your holding cell, then you might not want to build. You might want to build like this and have an entrance on the outdoor to allow these guys in to fix it all before you place a jail door, because obviously if they install a jail door, then that has to leave a hole for someone to get out of. So again, there's different ways around that. Because I don't have anybody in here just now, we'll just install the jail door straight over that, and that shouldn't be a problem. So that's the jail door going into a very small yard, and then this will be into the canteen and the kitchen area, which will allow us to complete this grant, get another 10 grand, and then we can move on. So we're 40% through finance, and then we can hire an accountant at the end of that. However, what we need to make sure is that an accountant, once we've unlocked finance, we can't get them yet, but an accountant is going to cost us, let's see, accountant is going to cost us $1,000, so we need to make sure we've got $1,000 left over to allow us to complete this to get the $5,000. So he's still doing that just now. What can we work on in the meantime? Now, these guys are still felling trees, but the general area is primarily ready, except for the fact it needs an entrance. However, this gentleman has just put an entrance in, which now allows this to be almost complete. I think there's one more section here to be complete, which may be because these sections have got in the way. But again, you'll see that these guys collect them, bundle them outside, and then that will go again, as I said, down into our exports, which currently just has flowers in it, and that can carry on. So, what are we waiting for here? That was one, and there should be another one here, I think. Control and left click to make a priority. If you guys could fix that, that'd be great. That should open up. There we go. And there we go. Okay. So that allows me to come in here. Again, no lights, however, because we don't have any power to it. So you'll see that the small power connections can be taken from larger rooms. But what we want to do is we want to have a look at where this is going to be. So this is going to be a yard, which doesn't necessarily need power at all. However, this section will be a kitchen. And in a kitchen, you need to have cookers, fridges, serving tables, I think. Let's see, so if this is going to be... Oh, I can make my rooms just now. So we'll say that this section is going to be a yard here, like so. And then we can say the next section is going to be a kitchen and a canteen. So let's go for kitchen area first. We'll just go for a small area, and then we can make this all canteen. Okay, so within a kitchen we need to have a cooker, a fridge and a sink. So we'll go for a cooker. Let's put a bin in the corner here. A fridge, and then a sink. We'll put that... yeah, I'll put that here. So you don't necessarily need to have a wall between the two of them. That's the beauty of this section, is that technically you don't need that. And again, within the canteen we need to have a serving table and a bench. So we need to have serving table, which we will have on this side. Yeah, let's just make 1, 2 should be enough of those. And a serving table and a bench and a table. So let's go for one table, one bench that side, one bench that side, and we'll leave that like that for just now. We'll extend this canteen slightly. However, you'll notice that everyone's coming in via the yard, which is not really what you want to do. You don't want everyone to come in the yard and then have to go back out again. However, once we've built this, you'll notice that that's just ticked off the kitchen section, and again, although we don't have power, which we shall just complete just now, I can do this straight down this line, and that will connect these two directly across the way. And then water wise, we need to get some water to the sink, so we shall put just a set of small pipes again, which will connect to the sink. I'm never too sure if you need to just put it into the side or into the centre of these ones, but that'll do. And again, there we go. So that's our grant gone for 10,000 because we have completed the canteen area. So let's go just quickly extend that canteen area just out to this part as well. So that's all the way through. There's no difference between the two. However, what we want to do is we want to create a bit more space for these guys to get in. So we shall go for building materials. We can make a concrete wall down here. I'll split our yard and our kitchen, and we shall demolish a bit of space there and a bit of space there. Now what that'll do is, although it'll keep the foundations, it will delete some space for everyone to get in without the necessity for having specific doors to come in and out of. They can just go to and from. Now, what the issue that you can sometimes have is you sometimes have them as everyone will get stuck in the same place, and your guard might not be at hand to open a door with a set of jail keys, and if that's the case, then you'll get everybody stopped up at the door waiting to get in, and they can't get in, and then it causes riots and it causes aggression and all the rest of it, which obviously, as a prison, is what you want to avoid. However, you can see that our actual setup here is absolutely tiny so far, and all we actually need to do now is we're getting 88% towards finance and hire an accountant, which we have £1,000 left, so that's absolutely fine, and that's us. So let's go and get more grants. Let's see, we'll skip the medical ward for just now. Unlock maintenance, 2 janitors. Yeah, that one's okay because you get a bit of thing in advance, bit of money. Do you get any money? No, you don't get any. Oh yeah, you get 10 grand advance payment, so that would be okay. Build a staff room, have 5 guards without a sign. Now this one is quite good to have at the start, so what we'll do is we will go with this one, and we'll build a staff room. Now, the staff rooms need to be of a certain size, do they? Where's my staff rooms? Staff room. So yeah, again, 4x4. So what we're going to do is we're going to give them a double length here. Normally I would do, this is the size of an office. However, what I can do is we'll just take out that planning and we can make that all one part of the staff room. That's all one section, so then we shall create some concrete walls. Create these rooms, and again, actually we will just create these just now as well. We don't necessarily need to, but because we can, we might as well just have some more offices ready if we need to. So build a staff room that is literally have a wide sofa and a drinks machine. That's all we need. So we'll have 1 wide sofa, 1 drinks machine, and that's all we need to complete that section. Now we have to have 5 guards without duties. Now, one of the beauties of this early in the game is you go, oh, I can't do that yet because we're still in day 1. So we need to hire 3 more guards once it becomes day 2. We're at 7 PM, you can see in the clock up the top here. So that'll exceed our daily budget, but once I hire 3 more guards, then all I will need to do there is none of them will have assigned duties currently because we still haven't unlocked security, which is in the process of doing. But once that happens, you can unlock deployment. That allows you to put them in specific places. However, if I only have 5 guards in total and none of them have any deployment, then you would automatically tick that box. Hence why I took this grant just now. And you'll notice that we've finished our unlock finance and we need to just hire an accountant. So again, into the staff, and this won't allow me to do this either because I'm still exceeding daily budget. So when it becomes tomorrow, as it were, anytime after 12, then I will have to have 5 guards, so that's 3 more guards and an accountant to hire. And let's just check how much money that's going to cost us. So 3 guards, so £1,500 for them. So we need 2,500, and we've got obviously 28,000, so that's plenty just now. However, we have ticked this section of having a staff room, and so we can't do either of those until tomorrow. So we can't actually complete one of those just now. However, what we can do is just go and see what else we can do. So hire 10 guards, a security chief, unlock patrols through bureaucracy, and 3 guards to patrol routes. So that should be fairly simple, and we can take that one with a 10 grand advance payment. Now, we don't actually need to do anything else for that other than unlocking guards. Now, it's saying hire 10 guards. If we get another 8, £500 a day, that's only going to be 4 grand more. So that's 4 of the 10 grand. A security chief will cost you about 1,000, I think, so that's another 1 grand. So you're still making money on that one, you see, because again, just patrol routes. So that's fairly simple. We can do that. And generally, this is how I run my entire prison, is through grants. You just the next section and the next section. So let's see what's next. Prison maintenance. No, let's go for cell block A. Now that can't be done until we finish the basic detention centre, which Let's see, what is that? Completed. We still need to unlock finance, that's what it is, to be able to do this. However, what it can do is raise your prisoner capacity up to 15. So let's go and actually build some cells in this prison, which is tiny. Let's go for some cells. So let's go spend some money, which is the last thing I want to do. However, let's build in concrete. So we're going to take this section and we're going to spend a whole... let's see, we've got 8 grand there, so let's go for 872. So let's go for 85. That'll give us some amount of space, and also, as well as that, it will give us a lot for our guys to be doing for the next 3 hours until we can do more. Which I can speed up time in a second, that's not a problem, but I just want to quickly make sure we've got everything. We'll put a large jail door on the end here. No, we'll put... actually, I should have made that 4 wide. If I made it 4 wide, it looks better. Let's just make it an offset large jail door, which is not really what I prefer to do, but that's not a big deal. So that's we're gonna have to wait for that one, and we're gonna have to wait till tomorrow for the next section. So let's just make it super fast forward. And what I'll quickly, you'll see these guys working obviously a lot harder. What I can also show you while these guys are doing this is there's also these down the bottom right hand side, there's these areas. Now you can do a shakedown, you can do a lockdown, bang up. Basically the bang up will put all people back into their own cells. A lockdown locks every single door you have. And a shakedown would obviously empty, let me just put that about to slow, would search everywhere. Now what I like to do at this point, before I've got anyone in their cells, and notice we have a minor problem here, which I'll fix in a second, what I like to do is hit shakedown just now. Now there's only 12 places currently, but this is places like within a stack, within this section, so you can see this guard checking this area. So that's already been checked, so that gets ticked, that's already been looked at. Now I only have 2 guards at this point, so it does take a bit of time for them to go through it. But you can see here that these are the sections that have the green that have been completed. Orange is what they're currently looking at, so another 2 basically. And they'll check all these places for to see if there's any foul ups. Now what I need to do is dismantle that. And if I hold on this for long enough, I believe, as I said before, it will show you what staff member is coming to actually fix it. Oh, what we also need to do is stick some extensions on our electrical cable. And on our water pipes. And again, what are we at now? We're currently at... there you go, so see, that shows you he is in the process of installing an electrical cable. This cable is going to be installed by this guy. This guy must be fixing, this guy's dismantling the jail door. There you go. So now we've got a jail door in there. And we also have 1 large jail door. So let's install that on this side as planned originally, and then we'll just put 1 wee bit of wall here just to finalise that section. So we're currently still in shakedown. They're still in the process of probably looking at stuff in the, yeah. So in the exports, they obviously have to check the stack of wood just to check there's nothing in there. However, you obviously want to be careful about these. You know, as you get more prisoners in, I don't have any currently, but as you get prisoners in, and this will be 12 out of 12, and we'll complete our shakedown. There we go, complete shakedown, and that wee noise is quite handy to know it's been finished. But yeah, once you get those issues, you can generally find that you know, once you get prisoners in, you generally find that there's a lot more weapons and drugs and all the rest of it to be found. There's obviously none just now because there's nobody bringing in any problems. So yeah, right, this should fix that issue. Now, are we at the next day yet? Oh, security's almost there. And oh, what about that for timing? We are into day 2. Now, we needed to buy a whole bunch of guards. So 1, 2, 3. That completes that grant. We need to hire an accountant. That completes that grant, and we can go off and get our other grants here. So, cell block A, that's one of the ones we're going to take. And security procedure. So we're going to take more guards. So that's just got 10 guards in total. Hire a security chief. Now we cannot do that until such time as this is finished, but you'll see we're at just about finished really. One of the things we want to do is get an extra grant. It's only 500, and our finance director, or whoever it be, is now going to look at that. So our warden can look at opening up all these avenues for us, but our finance individually is going to look at an extra grant. Our security will look at deployment once we get that sorted. And prison policy is also another good one, but it's £1,000, so you don't really need to spend it at the beginning. So let's have a look. We've got this door now, and it's kind of it's jammed open because we don't need to worry about it currently. I'm just going to take away that because it always makes you think that you should have a wall actually there. And then we shall carry on in here. So this is where I'm going to make my cells. Now, what I normally like to do is I normally like to open up legal and make small cells an option. However, that's a total cost of 15 grand, which if you look at the actual amount of money, well, we've got a decent amount of money there actually. Let's see if we can do this before. Let's go hit legal. So after he finishes security, he'll automatically move over to legal here, unless I've unlocked anything else, have I? I don't think I did. Possibly unlocked. No, I don't think I did anything like that. So 3, 2, 1, 0 should flick over to legal. So that's that been approved. Once we get a thing, we can open up, and now our legal is opening up. So 12 hours worth of that of in-game time. So in the meantime, let's go and look at this security procedure. Hire a security chief requires an office now, so they require an office. So we look for these ones. Let's say the security chief's going to be this one. That's, I don't know why, but I've decided that's going to be a security chief's office. So again, we hit office, look up this one. We have to put in an office, a chair, an office desk, and filing cabinet, and you get used to these kind of general fillings as to what they need. And you also require a chief of security, who currently requires an office, but once we get these guys to start making these, they'll come in with the required items. 1, 2, 3, and that's now become the chief's office. So he will now start researching, and he will start researching each of these. So let's go for deployment. I believe that's the thing that I've got to put on. Oh, patrol routes, sod's law. Right, so it's not patrols, so we'll cancel that and we'll go for patrols. However, he's currently going to work on patrols, and all I did was right click on this to pause that. I know I've already bought it, which is a waste of £1,000, but $1,000, but he will automatically turn on to that once he's finished patrols if I re-click this. So that's it now to be redone after patrols is finished. So we've got 5 hours worth to wait for that one, and we can raise our prisoner capacity to 15 now. Again, that will now, have we got an extra grant yet? No, we're still on 3 hours left on that one. Okay. So, in the meantime, what I'll do is I'll make some temporary sections. So, what I like to do is I like to always have a walk around of these sections. So, I just generally do is mark this out to give myself that one inside. And then what we're going to have is we're going to have a wall here, and a wall here, and a wall all the way down here. And we usually end up with a slightly bigger one in the middle. That's absolutely fine. So what I can just do is delete that out, just to give myself a bit of guidance. And basically what we're going to have is we're going to have cells in these areas. Oh, that's why I've made that one too small. I did think that wasn't looking right. There we go. Right. So each of them are going to be too wide. So what you then need to do is create, let's see, cells. So cells are minimum size of 2 by 3, which they obviously are not. 2 by 3. No, they are not, because I'm an idiot. So I need to delete this line, like so, and that line needs to actually go one further back, because you need to have an entrance. So now they are 2 by 3. So we shall start making them. So concrete walls again, just because I prefer it for each of the sections. And then you can just do the same out the other side. And this will allow us to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I need to double that. So we'll give a 2 wide gap, or we give a 1 wide gap. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see. Okay, so you can see here that it's just very simply put. All I'm doing is planning out each individual set of cells, just enough to do that section. Now I've left this section at the top here. This will give us enough for 16, which will raise our capacity to 15, as we'll tick that box. However, in the meantime, I just want to make sure that we're not, we will raise it higher. We just need to make sure that. Now, the best thing about this section is that what you want to do is you want to leave your doors until last. Okay, so if you go to a room, strap these over all its cells, it'll then tell you it needs to be enclosed by surrounded walls and doors. Now, walls it is, but doors it is not. We need to put them on, but we want to put them on last, after we've put in the bed and the toilet. So let's see, let's go for objects. We have beds to put in. I just have a tendency to put them in front of the doors. I don't know whether it actually makes it easier for head counts or not, but you know, it makes me feel like it does. And then we put toilets beside them. Each of these toilets will obviously need water, which we'll have to do. But you can see the amount of money this takes. You know, it does tend to take quite a lot of money to do this. And again, orientation, very simple, and nice and easy to do. Now, let's see. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is, once I have completed these rooms, which will just be a wee bit quicker once I've done this, we'll put some doors on them. Oh no, we've got to do some utilities first. As you can see, water wise, we just need to do this, and this, and this, and this. But once we've completed these, that will tick off cell block A, and we are most of the way through these 2 grants, and then we'll just close that off. We'll finish this episode there, and then you can see just how little we've actually made in the amount of time that we've been working on this. But it's a good start. It's kind of taking you through each section. and once this is complete and once we've got these doors on, they will become functioning cells. Now, because they've still not finished the water pipes, I like to leave them just so they've got enough time to go by. So we'll just fast forward this all up, see these guys building, and obviously you can see why I collected more, why I bought more workers, just to allow us to finish these sections a bit quicker. That's not been put as a cell yet, which is why there's no arrows against them. Everything except doors. Now, that is a warning, which I have no idea why. Anyway, let's go for jail doors on each one of these, because these are the only things missing. See, quite expensive to get jail doors as well. And if we fast forward that, then each one of these will have a jail door put on, and as soon as those jail doors are put on, these cells should end up complete, which will complete our cell block A section, and you can see that raising up as the cell block doors go on, and 20 grand completion. Okay, so that's us there. Oh, we're at 98% with patrol bureaucracy, so let's just finish that one. There we go. So we can now assign 3 guards to patrol routes. So deployment allows us to assign patrol routes, guard patrols. So what I like to do is I like to put patrol all the way around each block, and that's going to be 1 guard, 2 guards, and then we shall create. You always have to create a gap, otherwise they will be linked to the other one. So what I like to do is just create a one dot gap, and we'll assign 2 to that as well. So that's now got 4, and obviously that's completed that grant, as you can see. However, these guys, what they will now do is they'll patrol round this cell block and round this cell block, and that just allows you to make sure that everything's there. What I also like to do in deployment is I like to have somebody walk in the hall, and we'll come to a wee bit more after this as to who that's going to be, but that generally will also include dogs and armed guards, but that'll come in the next episode. So what we'll do in the meantime is we'll just quickly have a look. That's all we've built in this amount of time, but we now have a capacity of 16, and in the next episode we will introduce some actual prisoners to our very tiny prison, and we shall expand as well. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching. I'm gonna go do some more of this, and hopefully you'll see more of this on my channel. This is just going to be a series where we're going to make different sections in the game, hopefully, and I'll probably complete some of the storyline, maybe do a Supermax crazy prison, and also escape mode. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier, but there's an escape mode as well. So yeah, we'll look at that next time round. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?